Alright guys, and welcome back to episode 43 of the 10-minute modeling challenge. And we're actually part 3 into this little mini-series where we're also making a platform game in the bonus material. On today's menu, we've got background and foreground materials. I want to have some fences, maybe a stone or something like that, to go on the front of the tiles that the character can run behind. And then I also want some background objects. I was thinking maybe some mountains, some skyscrapers, clouds, things like that. So I'm going to spend 10 minutes today modeling those extra assets and then bring those into the Unity project. And from last week as well, if you remember, we modeled the hero. We just brought him into Unity and created a ragdoll because we ran out of time a little bit with all the animation that we had to do. So this time around, I was thinking in the bonus material, first I'll bring the props in, but that'll be quite fast. Then we'll actually get the guy to move as well. So we'll get some keyboard input and have him run left and right, and then maybe spacebar to do some jumping as well, some fall animations. Some of you wanted me to do the scripts. Some of you wanted me to do it in visual scripting with Bolt. And some of you wanted me to do both, so I'm going to do both. If you want to do visual scripting, it'll give you an idea how that compares to writing the scripts for it, because there are some pros and cons to both concepts. This week, super busy again with the game. We're putting in crazy hours now, like 10, 12, even 14, 15-hour days making the RTS game. Super exciting. We've got another alpha release coming out now. I have a feeling today that the main video today is going to be the bonus material rather than the actual modeling part. So I guess a little special curveball here for episode 43. We'll do the modeling as usual, and then we'll make this video a long one as usual, since it's called 10 minutes modeling challenge. We'll make it into a long one, maybe 40 minutes, 50, 30, I don't know. We'll find out. We've got to set the timer. I don't know why I record this part. I always cut it out, where I sit and scroll my phone. Maybe this time I'll put it in. Last video we modeled this hero guy and animated him, and today I'm just going to hide these, or I'll move them to the side so we can see the reference size roughly. Oh, I found my E2Extrude and S2Scale shirt again. It was hiding in the laundry somewhere, but now I found it, so I put it on. You can buy this as well. Check out the merch link in the description. I actually like this t-shirt a lot. E2Extrude, S2Scale. So, off we go. Ready, steady, go, start, and we're off. Yes, Shift D to duplicate it. We'll use this one again probably. Tab into edit mode, 8, select everything, scale, Shift Z, scale it down. Make it brown, a brown sign. Get this face down. L, maybe it's slightly wider. Okay. Control R, make it less straight. Control R. There we go. Let's get this one. Shift D, scale it down a bit. Side view or front view. E to extrude, R to rotate. E to extrude, R to rotate. S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale. Okay, we'll do 2 planks. L, Shift D. So maybe vert, select Alt Z to see through, rotate, G, scale. Just make it slightly different. Rotate, there, scale. Alt Z again so we can see. Maybe we'll put some texture onto this. K, knife cut. So we get just a brighter section here instead of texture mapping it. And then for this one, we'll do maybe a dark section here. So K for knife tool, G, and that's it. It's going to be our fence. L to select it, P, separate by selection so we can actually use these separate. And here's our fence post. So I'll hide that one, Shift D to duplicate it, hide this one. We'll create a sign out of this one, I think. L, scale, X, bring that one down, Shift D to duplicate it, S to scale, E to extrude, and then L, scale, X. E to extrude that one, S to scale it, R to rotate, G. What am I doing? Bit of irregular here as well. So Control R, rotate, G. Okay, that's our sign that we can put something on maybe later on. Hide that one. Let's grab this one. Let's create some mountains for the distance. 8 minutes. So Shift A. Let's do a mesh, a grid. Tab into edit mode. Scale it. And then Control 1 to subdivide it, and then Control A to apply that one. Now we'll just do O for proportional, G, Z, and create some different mountains here. So I'll do a base mountain like this. We have to grab the material over, so select this one, Control L, linked materials, tab into edit mode, A scale. We'll make a gray mountain, but with white snow on. So maybe too dark. There. So maybe we'll also do L, a lot of maybes here. Control T to triangulate it. G, scale that one. G to scale, criminal. G to move, of course. G. Okay, that's gonna be our first mountain. Maybe we'll do, maybe, that's my new favorite word, Control plus. Shift, select a few of these. That's it. G, get a white. L to select this whole thing, or actually I'll copy the whole thing. So Shift D is going to be the background thing. So tab into edit mode. G with proportional to make this different. Just a bit different. So we can have some different background types of mountains. Maybe we can try to rotate it. Rotate with proportional. So there, that's another mountain. Shift D, duplicate that one. Do yet another one. And we can rotate these and show them from different angles as well. So more proportional. G to move, I'll keep it in the center. So G to move that on. G, have it broken up a little bit like this. Oh, here's some dark sections. Make those white as well. G, there. Okay, so that's our mountains. We can hide those. H, H, H. And we should do maybe a skyscraper. That could be fun. Some buildings. I would do 549. So tab into edit mode. I'll just do some sci-fi looking. I'll do these smaller as well because they don't need to be to scale. I can scale them in the game. I'll do sci-fi skyscraper number 1 here. L, a bit brighter maybe. E to extrude, S to scale. Ooh, got proportional O off with that one. Scale. E to extrude. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, like the shirt says, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude. Okay, E to extrude, S to scale. We'll do a top here. E to extrude, I to inset, scale X, E to extrude that on, E to extrude, S to scale, and E to extrude, S to scale. That's going to be our first skyscraper. Maybe, again I say it. Okay, color differently, and maybe. I'm gonna say, if I say maybe again, I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna delete this video. Probably won't. Okay, that's our first skyscraper. Very simple. Did I say simple? Was that the one I was not supposed to say, that word? Can't remember. I to inset. And Alt E to extrude long face normals. Now I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so that's gonna be one of the buildings. H to hide that one, Shift D to duplicate it, Control to snap it, 421, okay, we'll do one more building. L, scale, Shift Z, scale X. Oh, it was maybe that I wasn't, now I said it, so that's no good. Scale, Shift Z, Control R, we'll do some different type of building. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude. S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale. That's it. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude. High score, S to scale. Control R. I to inset. I don't even know what I'm doing now. Alt E to extrude long face normals. Get that blue. Control R. How am I even doing for time? 3:28. Okay, weird skyscrapers. Or whatever it is. So, okay. We just need some buildings anyway. Maybe a glass tower here. Alright, inset. Alt E to extrude long face normals. G, okay. E to extrude. E to extrude, S to scale. No. E to extrude. S to scale. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. So a cloud maybe. H to hide that one. I'll do Shift A. Mesh, maybe a key. Oh, why am I copying? I should copy this. It's already got the material. Control 2 to subdivide it. Control A to apply that subdivider with the mouse over there. I've got a few minutes to go. 2:45. So white color for the cloud. And then maybe criminal. I'm not actually gonna delete the video because then I'd have to redo it. So Shift D to duplicate a bunch of those. Oh, copy the face. Not my face. Scale. Okay, proportional is going to be our friend now. G. Oh, for proportional. Oh, and we want Alt O actually, because we don't want the linked ones. So let's shape it into a cloud shape. Should have used a different method here probably. G, scroll. We can use the same cloud, I think, over and over again. So a fence and a sign, is that all I did for the foreground? I think I need a stone as well. Okay, is this going to be our cloud? So that's going to be a cloud. Yep. Maybe. That's my new word. Control A to select everything, Control T to triangulate it. Maybe I'll stop saying maybe one day. Probably not going to happen. That looks like a duck now. Too regular there. Rotate. Oh, rotate. That created a fun feature. Okay, 1 minute to go. We'll create the stone here as well then. So H to hide that one. Copy this one. We can actually use this. Tab. Nope, not tab. Control 2. 57 seconds. My phone is going dark. Tab into edit mode. Control. Oh. Tab out of edit mode. Control A on that one. Tab L to select link. G to get a brighter stone. Gonna be a bright stone. G to move it. G to move that on. G with proportional. G. We can rotate these in different directions as well. Or I was gonna say maybe we can create a separate stone. We'll do that. Shift D. G. 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 Okay, we'll create one more stone. Shift D to duplicate. Tab. Got 18 seconds. G. 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 This can be a higher stone. Stoned. A high stoned. Okay. 5 seconds. And that's our stone. Time's up! I don't even know what I did in the end. So we can have a look, a little recap here. And we can name them in the process. So I'll do F2 stone .001, F2 stone I was going to write 002, F2 stone .003. Okay, so we've got 3 stones. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. In Sweden, we say kill 2 flies with 1 slap and smell. And I think it's to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That sounds a bit brutal. I hope it's not British birds. What am I going on about? There's a mosquito anyway. And then we've got our sign, F2, sign, fence, and fence post. So we'll do F2, fence, post, F2, fence, plank, 1, or 001.001. Same naming. F2, fence, plank, .002. And for these, I'm going to right click and do set origin to geometry. So we get that centered. Right click, set origin to geometry. Just makes it easier to rotate in Unity. This one I want to keep at the base because we want to plant that at the ground most of the time. All the time. Shift select these, move them over here for now. And then we've got mountain. So F2, mountain.001. Control A, Control C to copy that. Mountain.002. F2, Control B, .3. So there's our mountains. F2, clouds. Cloud. It's just 1. Why am I looking over there? You're over there. F2, horrible skyscrapers. Sorry about that. But they'll be in the background, so hopefully they won't show too much. We'll do skyscraper.001, skyscraper.002. I think that was it. And now I'll center all of these. So I'll do Alt-G, Alt-G. We can select all of them. A, select everything, Alt-G. That's it. Everything's centered. We'll export it. A to select everything. File. Export. FBX. Selected objects. Apply scalings. We do FBX unit scale. And apply transform so we get the rotation correct. And we'll put them in the assets folder. Meshes. And we'll do level environment. Parts. 1. Okay. Everything's done. Export. And now, let's go into Unity. I'll have to load it now then. Oh, I closed the fence instead. I modeled the fence and now I closed the fence. I'm using a program called Fences here. People usually ask, and that's what I run to these little fences, the frames. Okay, we're back into our project. This is where we left off last week. So this is the bonus material now, officially. We've got the objects there falling, but I'm going to delete all these. So I'm going to finish then. Delete all the ragdolls. And then no fence. Fence. No fence. Ooh. Fences on the screen, modeling fences, and no offense. Prefab. He's already prefabbed the hero ragdoll, so we can delete them out of the scene, but we can re-enable the hero. So we're going to bring, first of all, the new objects that we saved. They're already going to be here because we saved them straight into the assets folder. So maybe, shut up. I'll drag that in. These are obviously too small, but that's okay. We can move the ones that are proper background ones to the side here. I'll right click here and do prefab unpack completely. We don't need the prefab link anymore. Shift select, get those out into from the hierarchy. So this is a cloud. You can move it up to here. And we only have one variation of this, but we can, if we do Control D to duplicate it, I guess we could get away with different scales maybe. And rotate. It's E to rotate in Unity. So we can have a different look from the side, or we can have that plain side there. We can decide what we want. So that's the clouds. We had some more stuff here. We had, let's do the background mountains. They have to be, they're really tiny, so they have to be scaled a lot. So I do R to scale. Yep. Well, and these can go really big. That big. Wow, they have to be really big, of course. Move them into the far distance. We get the fog on them. Wow, these are going to be big. That might be too big. It might not be. We can see when we start panning the level what it looks like. We'll do the same with this one. R to scale. G. Or W to move. So our next one. And then we had one more mountain here. R to scale. Scale it up. W to move. R to scale. Rotate. We can put these any way we want. As long as we don't see the base there. That's the important thing. We can put depth of field on this as well if we wanted. So that's... We're just going to mock up a bit of a level here. If I press play, let's see what that looks like. Okay, they pan pretty good. Maybe I'll move them further into the fog. And R to scale them even more. That might be better. Okay, we had the skyscrapers here as well. They might be difficult to use. We can use them as background and foreground maybe. Scale them up. Let's just get some tops here. And we'd need more buildings, I think. Control D to duplicate that one. We could put rotate. Maybe we get away with rotate. Oh, okay, they're facing the wrong way as well. So rotate that one. Let's see. There. Looks all right. And then the fence that we had here, we can put first the stones. We'll try see what these look like. Stones we can use in different ways. We can either make them small like this and just decorate the level like so. And you can also have bigger stones if you want to decorate these with boulders inside. So in that case, we'd probably want to have colliders on them as well. So that could be pretty good. Just stick a lot of boulders, and you can do Control D to duplicate that one. And then decorate. And then I'd save these into separate prefabs as well, I think. R to scale. This is why I probably say wrong sometimes. Or maybe it's because I'm getting old and senile. We had the fence as well. So we can position, we'll start with a sign. Don't know what you'd want the sign for. Maybe just decorations as well. That one we can put in the foreground if you want. Or you could have it in the background. It's up to you. Fence we can assemble in any way we want here. But I'll bring it forward. You can have fences on both sides as well. So I'll shift select these maybe. Maybe. Again I say it. think that fence might be a bit too big, so I'll create a placeholder for it. I'll do create empty, name this one fence. You can see it's a real mess in this one, but we can tidy it up. And here's a trick as well. If you want to move this one to this position, you could just parent. Okay, I'll move this one down here. And then we'll parent this object, the fence post. Go here, reset it to 0, 0, 0. And now I unparent it, and that way we moved it. I think there's other ways to do it as well. You can move it to that one, but now we can move this one in. And the fence planks here as well. So we've got our base fence here now, like this. We can name this one f2.001. First, we should probably scale it. Double click on it to center on it. R to scale, bring it down to maybe that size is better. And then we'll do Control D to duplicate it. And you could just keep either the same ones like this. We've got on the other side here, we have some texture or some color. So we can bring that around. Okay, that's a bit broken. Here's a trick as well. Don't be worried if you need to change something like this. I'll go back into Blender. We can hide everything apart from that fence. So tab into edit mode 3. Okay, it's probably the way this is cut. Not allowed to do this. We could do L to select everything, Control T to triangulate it. That might fix the problem. And then we'll look on the other plank as well. Fix this one. Tab into edit mode. L to select everything, Control T to triangulate it. That should be okay. Now I have to show everything again that we exported last time. Mountains, sign, skyscrapers, stones. Tab out of edit mode, A to select everything, file, export. And now we can just overwrite the FBX file here. Export, and it should update that one and keep everything else the same. And we've fixed that problem now with triangulating it, so we're safe. And then we'll put one more fence post here, Control D just for that fence post. And we can rotate this one a bit. And let's hide all of this for now, move them into level, and then out of sight, out of mind, hide it. Control S to save the scene. So that's it. That's now we're going to make the character run. This is a very basic background. Maybe we wanted to increase the fog. We can look at that. Main camera. I always forget where they put this now. Post-processing volume. Nope, it's in lighting, isn't it? I always miss where they put it nowadays. It's probably always been in here, but I always forget. And then environment. And here we can bump up the density of the fog again. That's too much. So 1, 2. Ooh, very sensitive. No, I like the look of that, I think. Try a different color. Maybe you want a bluer. Maybe you don't. And without fog, it would look like this. Maybe it's too strong. So that could be good. And we could implement here on the post-processing volume now. We can do add override, post-processing, and do depth of field, mode, bokeh. Then enable a few of these things. Maybe all of them. Focus distance here. I guess you can play around with the look to see if we press play now. That's it. If you wanted blurriness, that's what you could do. And if we want the buildings to scroll at a different speed, you see everything pans at the same speed now. If we wanted those to blur and be a lot bigger as well, you just move them further into the background. So I'll select all the buildings, scale them up, and move them back into the distance, and then down, just so you see the tops. But since we didn't make them, or since I didn't make them that nice looking, maybe it's good enough to just have it in the background like that. Okay, I think I need to change the focal distance here a little bit still. Focus distance. The level is at 0 on Z, so the main camera is -20. If we go back to post-processing and do, it should be about 20 there then. But then we lose the effect on the background. Maybe we separate these into the background here. Create a new empty, call it background, just so we can find it a bit easier. Put the skyscrapers and the mountains there in the background. You should really keep this a lot more tidy if you do it. You could find a hierarchy that works good for you. Now I could move this whole group back instead. Here, we'll do focal length. More, maybe like this. And same with the clouds, if you want to blur them. Move them into this, up here. Level, can move the clouds in here as well. Cloud, move them into background. Move them back, scale them up. Like that. Alright, so we've got pretty much everything ready now to get this character to move finally in Bolt and in normal C# script. So I'll just make sure that everything works. If I press play, seem to be able to, yeah, goes in. What's that in the distance? Post-processing, let's disable depth of field. What is that? Did I model that? Have a look. Oh my god, do you know what it is? It's a cliffhanger. Sorry guys, I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and look out this week, I'd say, for the video where we turn this guy into a moving guy on the platform using Bolt and C#. So we get visual scripting and C# scripting, and you can compare the two and see which one fits you. I really want to put that in a separate video. I want to compare scripting versus Bolt visual scripting, so you can decide which one suits you the best, and maybe you can do a mix of both, I don't know, but that video should dedicate itself to showing you everything about that. So subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you check that video as soon as it drops. Also, a huge thank you to all my patrons. I'm really thankful for the support that you can provide me. Head over to patreon.com/Imphenzia if you want to become a patron. There are a few different tiers there that gives you access to, for example, all 10 hours of my music that I've composed over the years, and also some other perks like the downloadable project files and everything like that from tutorials. I'll be adding a few more of those shortly. So, take care everyone, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. If I remove this component, he's gonna fall. Should I remove the component so we can see him fall? Ready? Steady?